Hello gamers and welcome to another episode of Vidja Game Hunting. First pickups of 2018, new setup, new year, new games added to the collection. Let's get into this. So over the holiday break, we visited my parents. They're a couple towns over. And I did a little shopping there, of course, and what I found over New Year's were some games at Walmart. I always check the clearance bin. I got Watch Dogs for the Wii U, brand new, $7. I didn't think that was too bad. I didn't have this one yet. I'm not maybe going for a full Wii U collection, but this one seemed decent enough to pick up at that price. And then I also found a copy of Steamworld Dig with Steamworld Heist. I'm a really big fan of Steamworld Dig and Steamworld Dig 2. I have not played Steamworld Dig Heist yet, but I had to pick it up. It was only $11.88 and it said it was a used copy, but when I opened this thing up, I questioned as to whether that's the case. This looks minty and brand new, but either way, for that price, again, I'm going to add it to the collection. Now, the really exciting piece. I went to a few of the thrift stores in the town. Generally, I don't expect much in a small town like that, and I was actually just kind of looking for cheap vinyl, which I found a couple albums. I brought them up to the register and the lady said, okay, that'll be, I think it was like $3 and it's half off because everything in the library, she called it, the library, I don't know why, there's a ton of stuff up there, was 50% off. And I said, wait a minute now. Is that everything up there? And she's like, yes, everything up these two steps. It was basically just a slightly elevated platform at the end of the store. Is 50% off. They had games, they had movies, they had all sorts of stuff. So I ran back up there and I grabbed a couple really great deals. So I got for $3 Parasite Eve for the PlayStation. It is missing the manual, but you cannot beat it for that price. I'm actually going to give this one to my buddy Andy. This isn't the type of game that I really get into, so it'll go to him. And then a game that I had passed up on because the price was kind of insane is a sealed copy of F-Zero. Now, this is the player's choice, of course, but it's factory sealed. It was sitting there for $40, and I kind of laughed it off. I wasn't going to pay $40. You can get it for about $30 shipped on eBay. But at $20, hell yes, I'm going to grab this. I love F-Zero. You can see this thing's in great shape. And, you know, at that price, I know this isn't like a super rare boxed game for the Super Nintendo, but I just had to have it in my collection. And this was a consignment store, so there was actually a sticker on this thing. And she needed the number off of that for the consignment deal. And when I brought it up to the register, she took a metal putty knife and is just prying at this thing. And I'm cringing a little bit, just asking her, please, no, it's fine, don't do that. She's like, but I have to take it off. I need the number for the consignment. And she managed to get it off without actually ripping the shrink wrap. But I was panicking for a good, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds while she did that. Amazing find. This made my day. This is one of the best things I found in quite a while. But on from there. So, a couple weeks ago, Nate, Cartridge Fun here on YouTube, he texts me and lets me know that there's this deal in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. There's a couple of stores on there, Last Stop CD Shop, and apparently they were doing a 50% off all video games over the course of this weekend. And I started talking to my buddy Andy, Video Game Experiment. He's also on the podcast. Anyway, we decided we were all going to road trip down there for the day and just see what we could get. I really didn't have an agenda as far as games I wanted to get. They do carry retro to modern. I don't think they have brand new games, but they definitely have a used inventory of a little bit of everything. And I picked up a few things, nothing super exciting, but at the price, I wasn't going to leave this stuff there. So let's start off with Super Nintendo. I got UN Squadron, Capcom game. It's a side-scrolling shooter. I've heard nothing but good things about this game, and I'm really happy to get it in the collection. Again, this is half off, so I think I paid like $7 for this, maybe. And then I got some filler NES games. Nate, Cartridge Fun, was also looking for NES games. I just kind of let him really dive into that. It was weird because a lot of the games that we didn't have, both of us didn't have, but I wasn't really down there to get any particular thing. So I didn't go too hard into the NES games, which is fine. I can pick those up at any time. But I got some filler games I didn't have. Ultimate Basketball. I know nothing about this. It's probably not going to be great. It's a Sammy game, so that's kind of interesting. I got a really trashed copy of RBI Baseball 3 last one I needed for this set. The label's got an old sticker on it that I didn't want to pry off because the finish is kind of wearing on this. It's also got a name written on it. I don't think I'm going to waste my time cleaning it up. This will just be in my collection until I find a better copy, but again, happy to have that. And then, of course, I completed another subset here. Very excited about this. Sesame Street, ABC, and 1, 2, 3. Anyway, got those out of the way. Now, I did pick up some disc-based games, too. I was a huge fan of Cool Borders 2 on the original PlayStation, but the Cool Borders, the first one, kind of came out early on in the PlayStation life cycle before I owned one, so I've never actually played it. Found a copy there. Got it for like $1.50, $2, I don't know. All those Nintendo games, by the way, were like $2 a piece. So, filler, but cheap filler. A Wii game. On the way down, we were talking about how I was expressing how I was done collecting Wii. I'm like, I've got all the games I want. I'm not going to buy more Wii stuff. It's good. And then I said, well, maybe I'd get SNK Arcade Classics if I found it. And sure enough, they did have it. I got it for half price again. I think it was around $10. So very, very pumped to have that one. I'm a big fan of the original Xbox as well. This is a game I did not have. Super cheap. I think it was $2. Grabbed by the ghoulies. This was kind of the first bigger Rare game. And I don't mean rare like hard to find. I just mean like the company Rare. After Microsoft bought them. This was supposed to be a bigger deal than it really was on the original Xbox. It didn't really set the world on fire, I guess. I also picked up Donkey Konga 2 because I do have the Jungle Beat set with the bongos. I should have grabbed the first one. I really thought I had it. After getting back from the trip, it turns out I do not. So kind of a bummer. And then I picked up a couple Wii U games. First one, I got this mostly for my son. He's been asking for it. It's Jurassic Park Lego. We played it together a little bit. It's got some good co-op. You know, these Lego games are always great time wasters. They're fun enough. I've got a few of them. And then a harder to find game, not super expensive or anything, but definitely on the more uncommon side for the Wii U. This is Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2. I have not tried this one yet. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of a label damage on the front here, but the rest of it is complete. So not bad. Not bad at all. And then on this trip down to South Dakota, we decided we were just going to kind of hit everything. But I picked up at a pawn shop because Andy's been recommending it. I'm a huge Tony Hawk Pro Skater fan, and he's been telling me about this for a while, and I've been looking for a decent copy. And for the GameCube, I got Disney Extreme Skate Adventure, and apparently this is built on the actual Tony Hawk 2 engine. So the moveset and everything in the physics should be pretty close to Tony Hawk, just with lovable Disney characters. So I'm curious to try this one out. And then probably the best find of the day for me, we stopped in a Goodwill. First thing I got, I found a fishing handheld game. I don't know if you guys remember these things from back in the day. Maybe if you're my age, you know, went to high school in the 90s or whatever, you probably played with one of these things. For whatever reason, I don't see them that often, and online they're like 15, 20 bucks. I grabbed it, it works. $1.75, whatever. But then, I have not found anything in a Goodwill in ages, anything of quality anyway. They had a bin full of vinyl. I actually found some good records, 3 for $1. But then the best piece was I found this sitting on the shelf. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the GameCube. One of my favorite Zelda games of all time. It was just $4. And I just lunged at it. Nate, who was standing next to me, joked that that was the fastest he'd seen me move all day. And yeah, it was. I got really excited. And if he had gotten in between me and this game, there probably would have been blood. It would have gotten ugly. But I love this game. I did not, surprisingly, have it in my GameCube collection. It is the player's choice. I don't care. I'm not one of those people that care. I want to play the game, so as long as they're complete and in decent shape, that's all that matters to me. This made my day. This was one of the last stops we had on that trip. I hadn't picked up a ton of stuff, as you could see, so to get a game off of my wish list that's been there for quite a while, had to do it. And then, I know not everyone cares, but I'm going to talk about a couple of the vinyl pickups I got. Because the Last Stop CD shop that was also having that sale has some amazing vinyl. And I'm kind of trying to build like a really good punk rock collection for my vinyl pickups, at least modern ones. So I picked up a couple of Face to Face albums. It's their self-titled and then Don't Turn Away. Face to Face was a 90s punk band, to me, they never really got that big. They were a well-known band, but they didn't have the fame that a lot of the ones like Blink-182, New Found Glory, you know, when that whole scene broke. But to me, they write some of the most honest lyrics of that era, and I just love their music for that reason. And then I picked up this really cool double clear vinyl set. This is Bring Me the Horizon, 2004 to 2013. I believe they've left Epitaph Records now, so this is kind of like a greatest hits album of that generation from them on Epitaph. Some amazing songs on here. It's got Shadow Moses. Shadow Moses is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. If you've not heard that and you like metal or metalcore bands, check that song out. It's freaking phenomenal. And then one last thing here. This one's gaming related, so if you didn't like the vinyl, hopefully you hung around for this one. When we got back, Cartridge Fun Nate hooked me up with a box of Super Mario cereal. He had someone give him a couple boxes through Twitter, and you know, he said he was gonna give me one. I refused. I was like, no, you keep both boxes, eat one, display one. That just makes sense. But he insisted, and super awesome. I really appreciate it. I have since found this in our local grocery stores now. This is an awful cereal. It really is. But my kids enjoy it. If it didn't have Mario on it, I think they'd probably not like it either. But it is what it is. It's still amazing to have in the collection. This is the box I'm going to keep sealed. It's going to sit here and, I don't know, sit here, I guess. But yeah. So thank you, Nate, again. Had a blast on that road trip. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the pickups. This is just the start of the year. So for the first pickups for 2018, not bad at all. As always, everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.